Hello everyone, welcome to Magickal Me. I'm Jamie Mendez, spiritual intuitive and oracle, and I'm here with my weekly Moon Day message. And this is going to be an intuitive message of guidance, of higher guidance for the collective good for all of those who find themselves here. Whether you're watching live on replay, you are here in exact divine timing. So there will be a message or something that will resonate with you or what you most need to hear. This is going to be for the week of February 15th, 2021. And before I just get into talking about what you can expect to find here tonight, I just want to take a moment and just make sure that everyone can hear me okay. I know we've been having a few issues regarding sound quality the last couple of times, and Mercury retrograde. So just want to make sure. Hey Mare, welcome gorgeous. Hey Courtney, welcome. Happy Moon Day. I'm trying to keep scrolling away from me here. Beautiful. What a lovely surprise. Welcome to my sacred space. Oh, well, welcome to my sacred space. I love that. So, Mare, you follow on the moon days. How is the quality right now? I think I want to just do a really quick unplug of my headphones and plug them back in just to make sure all is well and good. Hello, Deborah, Annie, Laura, welcome. Oh, wonderful. So then maybe I shouldn't mess with it. I don't know. It sounds faint to Deborah. Okay, so I'm just going to do a really quick I noticed this only happens during Facebook Live. So, and it happened with two different microphones. So I have to assume that it does have something to do with the Facebook Live and microphone connections, that now you just might have to wait to plug it in until you actually start the live, which is really weird, but should we count to 10? Okay, so let's see. How does it sound now? Hi, Dawn. Welcome, beautiful. Just give it a few seconds and see how it sounds now, if it's even better than before. I noticed back on replay last week that it was about 30 minutes in before someone said, I'm really having a hard time hearing it. And the first 30 minutes, it was actually as though I didn't even have a microphone in at all, even though I did. So I noticed that what's happening is you can't start a live with a microphone plugged in. You've got to wait and then plug it in. So yeah, see, Courtney Meredith, thank you so much. I knew it. I just had that feeling. So till it gets fixed, I guess I'm just going to have to go through this every time. But good thing we tested it right away this time. All right, so welcome. Thank you all so much for being here. Hello, beautiful Bridget and Angela, Tammy, welcome. Thanks for being here, ladies. So for those of you who are new to Moon Day and watching this for possibly the first time, I'm just going to really go over very briefly what you can expect to find here this evening. So as I said, I am an oracle and an intuitive, which means that I am able to discern or interpret higher messages of guidance for all of us and what we most need to know. So I really do set the intention and ask for the guidance for all of us to give us that heads up or awareness. Now, this message is not individual personalized readings here today. I know sometimes people do get confused when they see a live with someone doing readings. They, sometimes people offer, readings for everyone who's tuning in. That's not how this works here. I'm doing one reading for the overview for the week for all of us as a collective, and what we all really need to know moving into the energy of the week to give us that heads up and insight into how we can best flow in alignment harmoniously with the energy versus kind of blindly swimming against the current and not really knowing what to do with this energy or what is going on at this time. So it really does give us that power insight, because when we have the awareness, that's half the battle, and it does really enable us to get ahead of something or work with the energy. All right. Hi, Sandra. Thanks for being here. Thank you for the feedback as well. Elise, welcome, beautiful. Thank you for being here. All right. So I do offer private readings. You can message me privately. You can take a look at my services on Magickal Me here, and you can see what different sorts of readings I do offer and what the fees are as well. Readings are able to be done just like this privately through video chat, whether it be on Zoom, whether it be on Facebook Messenger. This is how we can do that. Also offer them through a private video recording. And then this way that recorded video gets sent over to you to watch in your own time as many times as you like. So very, very flexible in that regard. Also offer private healing sessions, energy healing sessions, light body sessions, as well as Reiki sessions, all remotely as well as in person. So putting that all aside, how this works is I ask for that higher guidance and insight for all of us for just this week and what we most need to know. So it really doesn't matter if you're watching it, though, on a replay months from now. You're here in exact divine timing. So there's a message that's going to apply to you even at that time, months from now, if that's what you find yourself here doing. So again, time and space, just an illusion, doesn't matter. Hello, beautiful Jill. Welcome, love. So first and foremost, what I like to do is talk about any news and announcements that I have going on, any offers or workshops, events here at Magickal Me or over at my sister business, Oracles of the Light, with my two partners, Lindsay and Karen. And then after that, I talk a little bit about the energy forecast and what I'm feeling intuitively. And sometimes to do, whether there's something major astrologically going on, something with the moon that I feel is worth mentioning because it might have some sort of an impact on us this week. After that, I pull the oracle message, and I do that using oracle cards. And then I'm able to use my own intuitive abilities to discern the message and my psychic abilities to bring forward that message and how we can best work with that energy for the week and what spirit wants us to all know. And I say spirit as a very generalized, broad term for the divine. And then after that, I pull a mudra card to give us a little bit more power to work with the energy for the week. And this really is a tool that enables us to facilitate the healing, the growth, and the expansion that may want to occur. So we'll talk more about mudras when we get there. For now, I'm going to kind of bring it on in. Hi, Alexandra, Tina, Eileen, welcome. Wow, full house tonight. Hi, Annie. Thanks so much for being here, everyone. I really greatly appreciate you being here. Even those of you who watch back on replay, I really appreciate that. All right, so first and foremost, I'm going to do the news and announcements. So, hi, Wendy. Welcome. Thank you for being here. News and announcements. I do not really have anything going on at this time, although I am putting together an in-person Yusoi Reiki level 1 certification class. That will be in March. I'm not ready to announce that date just yet, but if you are interested in learning Reiki and you are local to the Easton, Pennsylvania, Phillipsburg, New Jersey area, you can definitely come on out and learn. It's a 1-day class, and you get certified. You are tuned to the Reiki energy. So really a powerful way to take your healing, your wellness, overall body, mind, soul into your own hands, as well as helping you be able to help others in that regard too. So if you're interested, just hang tight. I should be getting that information out soon. And there's not too much more going on besides Oracles of the Light, my sister page. If you haven't gone over and liked our page, maybe go ahead and do so, because that'll allow you to stay up to date on both Magickal Me and Oracles of the Light, as we are one. We work together. So hello, Lori. Welcome, gorgeous. Thanks for being here. We have a reading special going on for the month of February. Now, you can book a reading at any time. We are always offering oracle card readings. However, these are 2 special themed readings for the month of February, and they are what we are calling our love readings. And it's 2 different ways that you can really get some information or insight into the different sorts of love that is important in our lives, which is 1, self-love. The most important sort of love that there is, self-love, and it's a rose quartz reading. It's $40 for about a 30-minute video recorded reading. It'll be with one of us oracles, so either myself, Karen, or Lindsay, depending on which one of us is available at the time. And that reading is really your higher self coming into give you give you more of an insight into where you could use a little bit more self-love in your life, different ways that you could even bring self-love into your life. Then the second reading is what we're calling a red rose reading, and that is a romantic reading, and it's really giving you an insight into what you can expect I should say how romance wants to manifest into your life in this year of 2021, and what you can do to really be open to receiving that. So it's a really potent reading for those of you who are looking and interested. And it's a great way to learn also what you can do to really get out of your own way, because we don't realize that in the process of wanting a romantic partnership, we really often block ourselves from being able to connect into it. Because that whole yearning and longing and really wanting, feeling like there's a void within yourself is actually heads up that you are in need of doing some self-work, some self-healing, before you can really enter into a more healed partnership is what I should say. All right. Yes, you do, Lori. That's something separate. That is, you have to reach out to me. And once you message me when you're ready, then I will pull your card. That was for a contest that we were doing way back with my mother's page. So I won't be doing that here live, hon, but just send me a private message, okay? All right. And then, so that's it, I think, for the news and announcements that's going on right now for February. More things to come for March, but just not ready to announce them just yet. And now we'll move on to the energy forecast, or what I call my empathy forecast, as I am a very sensitive, energy sensitive empath, and clairsentience is my biggest psychic ability, which is the ability to clearly feel energy and the feelings of others as well, and that has been pretty interesting. Oh, Lori, I'm so sorry, sweetheart. You know what? Just hang tight. I'm going to talk about that right now. It's so interesting that you just brought that up. So much, sending so much love to you. Honestly, the pain in people's hearts right now is palpable. I've felt it. So I'm going to talk all about that with my energy forecast here. Hi, Heather. Welcome. Hi, Monielle. Thank you for being here. Just did a news and announcements. You can catch that back on replay. I'm talking about the energy now for the week. So astrologically speaking, I have not really had the time this past week to even look into what is going on with the planets. You know, this month, like I said, I'm just going to sum it all up and just be like, it's a big one. And that's all I'm going to say. You know, the planets are still all in that a whole potent alignment in Aquarius until we shift out into Pisces, which is coming the 19th or so, around that day. Not 100% sure. The sun will be moving into the sign of Pisces. So Pisces season, everybody. And shout out to all of you wonderful Pisces energies. Hey, Fred. Welcome. Thanks for being here. So, yeah, I haven't even had the time to look into it. And full moon is not this week. I want to say next week. So, you know, we got a little bit of a space in between, but what I do want to talk about is the new moon energy that we just came down off of on the 11th or so. And now we are in this waxing period, which is the increase of energy. So the next 2 weeks is going to be an increase of energy, as is every month with the moon cycle, this build up to the full moon. Full moon is a time of manifesting what you've been working with, what you've been working towards, and manifesting that into reality. And also it's a time of completion and empowerment. So you can see how we're really working towards wrapping up cycles, bringing things to a close, but also we're working towards what we want to achieve by possibly the next new moon cycle. So there's a whole lot of energy coming in right now for making plans, doing the mental prep work, and actually really kind of focusing or redirecting your focus on where do I go from here? What do I want to create in my life? With that said, it's like that double-edged sword of there is this palpable feeling of woundedness coming up to the surface at this time. And that could be triggered by, Valentine's Day, as there has been, obviously with every year with Valentine's Day, you do have those people who are not in a partnership at this time, and who are dealing with, like, Lori just mentioned, feeling she's got a broken heart at this time, and dealing with feeling the void of what we perceive to be love outside of ourselves. And of course, I'm not saying that we should not want to share our lives with someone who loves us and is our equal in every way. That is the that most beautiful, blissful, ecstatic destination, I guess you could say. But there's that old nugget that's, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey, right? And that journey is about self-healing. And so at this time, there is a lot of people who find themselves, and I felt overwhelming grief and heartache and loss, and that feeling like there was a void within me starting the 13th, the evening before Valentine's Day. And I was guided to send out a post regarding sending healing light and healing vibes to everybody in need of it. And, these feelings that are coming up to the surface are absolutely valid. But again, there's a fine line between just really indulging in that feeling of loneliness and yearning, and looking outside of yourself for what is been within you all along, your own light, your own love light. And these feelings that you're having now, well, one, let's just talk about the separation, or the that feeling of that, I'm missing something, or you're sad about what you don't have in your life. Or let's talk about the things that actually are coming up and being triggered for release at this time. And, you heard me say last week and the week prior that February was going to be a next level month for us. And it is. It's really facilitating those big changes that we have not been either ready to make up until this point within ourselves and within our life, or that we have just kind of dragged our feet regarding making. And so all of these incredible planetary alignments that we've been having are all the detonators or activators for these feelings to come up, because how we process and release or realize pain is through experiencing it. And so we've got to understand it to be able to fully realize it and fully release it, which enables the healing process. So there's a lot of this energy that's, like I said, it's kind of a double-edged sword right now, because, some on one end, you get these moments. We talked about that last week too, where it's like, I feel amazing when I wake up, and then all of a sudden it's like, I've done one thing and I'm done for the day. That's continuing. But now you see it again in a different way, where it's like, now I feel like I want to make magic. I want to birth something new within me and into the world. And I want to create or take my life into a different direction. But then I'm getting this other energy that's here, that's still pulling me back down and forcing me. It's, not to offend anybody, but does it feel very like a bipolar on the opposite ends of the spectrum, not to make light of that. It's saying it, and that's how it feels. It's the energy of up and then down, up and then down. So really having this, many of us may be feeling this bipolar like energy within ourselves, where, we are experiencing the opposite end of the spectrums and extremes. And this is to teach us to find the middle ground, to find the balance within ourselves and within our lives. So here we have this energy coming in that is being released from our lives, or triggering things that need to be released through the realization. Sometimes when we aren't ready to make a decision that's toxic and not serving our higher good and where we want to go or where we need to go, the universe kind of intervenes. And I say the universe, but the universe is you. And your higher self kind of, and your team maybe kind of intervenes and does have these situations kind of fall away and come to an end. Even if we didn't think that we were ready, even if we thought that it wasn't what we wanted, it's absolutely what we needed. Okay, so I know that that's not an easy thing to grasp or accept. But that's the tough love part about this, is that, that's exactly what it is that you need to find the love for you. And in a way, this is the universe loving you so much that it is bringing these situations to an end, because they were in some way just no longer serving you or the journey you're meant to go on. All right. So lots of feelings coming up to the surface. And what I heard this week too was we are healing the separation wounds. And I mean separation regarding our individual lives, the separation of feeling like disconnected from certain things that we want or don't have within our life. And it could impact you on a individual level, obviously. But this is going way back further, and it is the separation from source, from love. It's the separation of that point where we decided to descend into a physical incarnation and existence. And it's interesting because it's like I was saying this today, the whole point of this is like a simulation, but we don't know that because, this is real life, right? It feels very real, but it's real, but it's a simulation as well, that you are still one with source. You always have been. But the fact that we chose to incarnate into the more physical realities and dimensions was all a journey for us to go through healing, for us to go through learning of, the opposite end of the spectrum, to finally begin to bring ourselves back into wholeness, to recognize source, love is us, is within us, and that we are all we will ever need, and that we are also all one together. Therefore, our love knows no limits, or shouldn't. It should love. We should have that endless love for one another. So it's teaching. We're here to learn this, to ascend consciously back to that state of wholeness. So the releasing and the feelings of the pain and the wounds and the loneliness and the grief within your heart is a sign from your higher self showing you what needs to be acknowledged, what needs to be looked at and understood, so that you can realize that there's a part of you that's still lacking love. That love does not come externally. Love comes from within, because you are always love. You are love. You came from love, and you will return to love. So you do not, when you get to that place of loving the self so much, you come back to that place of sovereignty, coming into your truth and recognizing how these situations in your life, whatever they may be, have in some way been a teacher to teach you how to come back into your truth, back into your power, back into loving yourself enough to say, I don't want this, I never want to experience that again, and I will not experience that again, because I now recognize my divine worth, my divine potential. And so as you come back into wholeness, it no longer becomes about needing, I should say, to share your life with someone else, or else you are not worthy of love. It now becomes, I do not care whether or not I share my life with anyone else, because I love myself so much that if there is another person that wants to enter my life, that will enhance what I already am, or can share in this love in an equal give and receive, then so be it. But I detach from the outcome of whether or not I will be with someone for the rest of my life, because that isn't relevant, because the love comes here, right? So when you detach from that, it really does shift everything, every circumstance in your life, including who you are now vibrationally aligned with. So the partnerships that would come in are much more divine. All right. So that's where I see a lot of that whole, like, there's this tug of war thing going on right now with all of us, and myself included. Like I said, try as I might to not tap into collective energy, it's, you know, it's my nature. It's who I am. It's what I'm meant to do here, what I'm meant to be, so I can understand and, you know, understand myself, but also understand the oneness, what everything and everyone is experiencing and going through. So when you can reflect upon those things, you can really bring yourself into healing. Work on bringing more love to the self, being compassionate with yourself, knowing that you are exactly where you're meant to be at this time. And you are meant to work on and with anything anything you might be experiencing at this time to evolve, to ascend into a higher consciousness and vibration for yourself, where, yes, we are detaching from karmic cycles, the old distorted matrix that we are all or have all been plugged into, so that we can disconnect from that and come online to the new matrix of new earth and new, golden Christ love consciousness, however you refer to that as. So really coming back into this whole new earth energy and disconnecting. So we're dissolving matrices, and lots will still continue to dissolve away from us. And as I said before, this is really going to be something that continues, I feel, throughout the month of February. Throughout this whole, giving this, it's really giving us opportunities to liberate ourselves. I also experienced something where truth had to be revealed. And it's not necessarily truth in a way that is like bad truth, sometimes like the deceit and stuff that we uncover in a bad way, although that is also part of it, because again, on the scales, we have to experience both ends of this spectrum to be able to attain wholeness and oneness. So there is that also going on, where truth has been coming up to the surface. And I noticed that last week, that truth was coming up and coming out. And for some people, again, it's things that were hidden from you, some sort of deceitful things. But for others, and you could experience both, God bless you if you have, but you could experience both, where it's also the truth of who you are. And I think that was last week's message, to really uncover the truth of what magic lies within you. And the only way that we can do that is through self-examination, exploration, and really acknowledging these patterns that are coming up, or these feelings that are coming up to be dealt with and processed. Because once we process them and bring them into healing, and how, one thing that I said today that I was talking to a client was, it's not just about releasing them. We focus sometimes like, oh my goodness, there's a shadow. I don't want to deal with this thing. Let me look at it and then hurry up and let it go. There's this whole taboo around it. And that's not what it's about. It's about bringing that part of yourself, bringing that feeling, that emotion, that pattern, that behavior, that thing that you did. It's about bringing it into love. It isn't about just releasing it. How we heal is to accept it, is to love it and bring it into love, okay? And that's how we work through. And so when we work through these things, these layers, more and more of our truth actually becomes to start being more prevalent. It starts to actually begin to show itself more. And I don't care how old you are. Age does not matter. You're at where you're at, exactly where you're meant to be. So I hear a lot of times people say, well, I'm 50-something, 60-something years old, and it's a little bit too late for me to start. And I know who I am. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because we are constant works in progress. Constant evolution is occurring, and alchemy within us. So it's really about us just pulling back more and more and more layers of how much we have incurred through past lifetimes, ancestral patterning, and DNA. We're really just beginning to really, truly start to see. Okay? So very potent energy is what I've been tapping into, and finding your truth. Also, I'm hearing about, and this is intuitively, hearing the truths that are coming out that way. It's like, whoop, oops, Can't take back, no takesy backsies. They came out and it was said. And while it doesn't have to be catastrophic, that truth that comes out is bringing you more into a place of acceptance and wholeness or awareness to be okay when the time comes. So do what you will with that, but that's what I'm hearing, okay? And I see a few of you just starting to pop in now. Hi, Seth, Ricardo, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. I did just go over the news and announcements as well as the energy forecast, but it's all available on replay if you'd like to go back and catch it. I'm going to take a moment, check the comments, and then I'm going to go into our oracle reading for the week. Hey, Lynette. Welcome, soul sister. How are you, love? Thanks for being with us here. Dawn, yes, I love that. Thank you. Thank you. Angela says, I'm getting glimpses. Oh, interesting. Very interesting. Releasing karmic crap. Yep. Definite. Hi, Nadia. Welcome, gorgeous. Thanks for being here. Meredith says, building magic. Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like the next 2 weeks. And, you know, as with any moon, but as with any new moon to full moon period, that increase, you're building the energy back up. But it's February and it's Aquarius and there's all this magic happening right now in Aquarius. So it's not your average rodeo. Moon is in Aries, so it's a nice new cycle at the start of the zodiac and on a crescent moon. Thank you for that. Meredith Morse, everybody, Mermaid Trove, just giving a shout out because she is so on with her astrology and she is an astrologer and she does offer astrology readings and natal charts and different other magical tools. So check out her page, Mermaid Trove. Okay. Yeah, if moon is in Aries, interesting. So it's a nice new cycle at the start. Yes, the start of the zodiac and on a crescent moon. Wonderful. So definitely, yeah, some new beginning energy there. So that's fantastic. And that's really what I was feeling like. It's a great time to start also focusing on why these things are being released right now, why these wounds are ready to go, because it's preparing you for what? And that's a question to ask yourself. What am I being prepared for? What is ready what is ready for my focus and my energy now? What can I create with this new energy? So really focusing in on what you want to start to do, especially with the new moon energy. This is the time for planting those seeds, okay? All right, I think that is it. Let me see. Oh, glad to hear, Lynette. Lori, I love karma. Don't we all? Don't we all? And karma is neither good nor bad. So, you know, I love that. I'm going to be very careful with my words here. I love to release karmic debt and be liberated from it. And I love the good karma that comes back from the good things that I've done. I'm going to be very mindful with my words. Hi, Caitlin. Welcome, gorgeous. Hi, Jen. Welcome. Hi, Karen. Late again. No, you know, divine timing. Thank you so much. Love to you. I'm glad you made it. You know, everything else is on replay. Oh, Annie, you're a sweetheart. Hey, Jenna. Welcome, gorgeous. Thanks for being here. All right, everybody. So thank you all for that in the comments. And feel free to continue to comment and share. You know, I just go back through the comments. If not during the live, then afterwards I do try to if I missed anything. So I'm going to go ahead and pull our Moon Day card. I'm going to work with the Dragon Fae again, just because I'm still really in that energy. I am still really feeling it. Again, to me, it's that Dragon Fae energy of just that very ancestral, primal, ancient wisdom, knowledge, empowerment. Really, when I work with dragon energy, it's to bring in, and again, I work with dragon beings that are here only for they come in divine, unconditional love, okay? So when I connect into them, it's very much about teaching. Also, they work with the energy pathways and gateways, so it's really about them coming in to help remove stagnant energy from your pathways, both internal and external. So they work in co-creation, I should say, with the work that we do. So yeah, very powerful, wise ones. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited too. I'm really excited to see what's going on this week. So it is a deck called Oracle of the Dragon Fae. It is by Lucy Cavendish, one of my absolute favorite decks. And I've just been steady on with this thing for a couple weeks now, and even with my own cards every day. So absolutely loving that. All right, so everybody, I am just going to ask you and welcome you to come into sacred space with me. We are all energetically connecting at this time, even though we are, different places. We're still energetically connecting. Everything is energy. And so it's a really good idea that when we're doing this to really just kind of come in to ourselves, to really ground ourselves. So I'm just going to ask you to just take a nice deep breath in. Just close your eyes. And blow breath out of your mouth. And as you do, just release all the stress and tension in your body. Notice anywhere you're holding stress and tension right now. And just unclench your jaw, relax your shoulders, relax your spine. Take another deep breath in and release. Going to release all worry, all thought, by allowing our minds to drop down into our heart space. Really connecting into the feeling of your heart space. One more time, nice deep breath in. And release. All right. What guidance comes forward for the world as a collective's highest good for the week of February 15th, 2021? What do we most need to know or be aware of this week? Whoa. Whoa. All right. This is funny. I love it when spirit, the divine, has a sense of humor as well. So last week, if you were here and you tuned into Moon Day, or if you tuned in even on the replay, you will know that our card was the Sacred Silence, the listener. We got the same exact card as last week. And you all saw me shuffle that. There's no such thing as coincidence, and there's no accidents either. So I'm going to go over this again briefly, and then I'm going to ask Spirit to give us a little bit more clarity as well. Yeah. So, yeah, and I've heard myself saying that quite a bit this past week too. It's like, listen. That little video with that little boy? It's like, listen, Linda, listen. 21 is the number, so there's 21 viewers at this time, so no such thing as coincidences. What I'm going to say to you all is pay attention to the energy of the 21 of this month. Meredith, my dear, do you know of anything going on the 21st of this month? I know the 21st of last month was quite potent, so maybe we are pulling in the completion of a cycle here, because we just jumped up to 22, which is the master builder number of us being the architects of our own lives. So, yeah, Meredith, maybe we're just wrapping up that cycle from what, the inauguration was on the 20th. 21st was a really big alignment with the planets. So maybe we're just really wrapping that up. But I would be curious to see. I have not looked that far ahead into February. I'm just barely getting through the day. So if you know of anything, if not, no worries. And if you need to look at it a later time, no worries. I'll share it on Magickal Me later. So it's 21. I'm feeling it's significant for a reason. So it's a 3, which is the number of creation. It is the number of that in which is trying to be birthed from spirit into matter, into physical reality through us. So it again is about our future being created by us. We are writing and shaping our own destiny, our own future. Your karma is being written as you go, as you speak, as you act, as you do, as you say, and what you continue to carry with you going forward. So what is that? What is it that I'm carrying with me still? Well, part of my energy forecast really kind of touched on that and what we can do. Meredith says, on the 21st, the moon goes into Cancer, which is, holla, I am a Cancer moon here, and goddess asteroid Ceres moves into Aries. Ooh. So I'm not familiar with the energy of the asteroid or Ceres, surprisingly. So if you have any insight onto that, that would be wonderful. If not, please do not feel obligated. I know I'm putting you on the spot. Don't do it. I'm curious. I just want to know. I'm going to message you anyway. So I'm really curious. Really interesting. Very interesting. So that maybe around the time of my lunar return for the month then. Whoa, magic. All right. So how do we know what wants to be birthed through us, you know, and how do we know what it is, like, what you're taking with you, you know, what are you taking into the new, what you are holding on to, what you are experiencing, what you don't want to release, what you're engaging in energetically, what you surround yourself with, what you say to yourself, what you put into your body, what you do, don't do. These are all what you are putting into your world as it's written for yourself, for your own reality. So the card being the listener, and it says sacred silence. To me, that means enter the sacred silence to listen, to hear what it is that wants to be released. And, you know, you will be surprised. And I think I said this last week that, you know, sometimes, you know, I do a lot of self-work, not to toot my own horn. I'm not trying to do that. But I'm just saying that sometimes it even shocks me that I do a lot of self-work and I'm really about learning and applying things to my life right away. But there will be times where, you know, for example, I'll come across a post on Facebook and it'll be like, you know, connect into your womb and see what old patterns you're still holding on to. And I'll be like, oh, okay, well, I probably would have known that by now, but let me just go ahead and do it. Sure enough, connecting with my feeling, not just my ears, my feeling, my awareness, my knowing, my vision, you know, that third eye vision and clairvoyancy and seeing. When you do that, you would be surprised what is shown to you or what is shared or what you begin to feel. And I actually was shown through even my dream states a lot of old karmic, and not just karmic, but like contracts, oaths, and vows that I've made across lifetimes that I'm still carrying, and they were still impacting me in this life. So like I said, you will be surprised. So really take that time to enter the sacred silence of self. Call in your highest self to connect into your highest self, that soul aspect of self. Call in your sacred guardians that love you unconditionally. Ask them to surround you, hold space for you as you connect in. Grow your roots real deep down into the womb of Mother Earth, connecting into that space. At the same time, seeing your branches stretch up into the higher realms of light, all the way back into source, and come into center space. And then ask, what do I need to know? What do I need to see? What do I need? What wants to be released? And then watch with your vision, with your feeling, with your knowing, with your dreams, because that's a lot where I was getting them, was in my dreams. And then even in synchronicity throughout the day, you're going to start to see patterns, posts on Facebook, things like that. Spirit is always communicating with you. All right, so let us go ahead and we're going to pull one more card to see what else wants to come through with that. Hi, Diana. Welcome. Thanks for being here. Anything that you missed will be available on the replay after the live is done. There were quite a few things. I don't know how familiar you are with Moon Day, so definitely catch it back if you want. So she is the goddess of harvest, agriculture. She's Greek, right? Greek mythology. The goddess of harvest, agriculture, teaching humans, star seeds, how to grow. Wow, that's interesting. Cultivation, which is really huge for me right now in human design. Cultivating our, oh, the human design is amazing. So fascinating. Definitely everybody check out Mermaid Trove. What she's working with, bringing information in with the human design is really, really, truly, it's like a next, I don't know if I want to say it's easier, maybe easier perspective, or even a different perspective in looking into yourself versus like your natal chart type of thing. Kind of goes hand in hand, but different. Cultivating ourselves and this new earth we are birthing and the beginning of a new cycle in the expression of Aries. That makes so much sense with everything that we just discussed, you know, with everything that's coming up, and, you know, why we're being asked, why we're feeling what we're feeling, how we're asked to go into the silence, listen to ourselves, connect in, and then work towards also what are you bringing in? What are you doing? Are your actions, are your intentions, are your feelings, is your self-talk all in alignment with what you want to create, with what you want to see in the world? If not, well, now is your opportunity to change that, okay? All right, so let's see what other card. Tricky. Oh boy, okay. So we got a number 10, which is interesting because coming from a tarot background before oracle cards were on the scene, when I used to work with tarot, I understood the significance of the number 10 in numerology. So 10 wasn't always broken down to be a 1. So if you look at it, and so I kind of always go back to that, whereas 10 is like arrival. It's the destination of one part of your journey that makes up the greater, you know, that greater journey. So it's like coming to the end of a journey, but it's arrival, which means it's not end in a way that's taken away from you or ended prior to you being ready for it. It's meant to happen this way. And it's also about you taking away, you think about, you know, life as a journey, and the 10 being the end, you know, when you're in your crone years and you're, you know, recognizing that you've coming close to the end of your journey now. It's about reflecting back and recognizing all of the lessons, experiences, the growth. What have you learned? What are you ready to release? What are you ready to take with you? Because then the 10 does break down numerically to be a number 1. And that is the number of rebirth, new beginnings, forward movement. So again, you heard me keep talking about this double, like this kind of opposite ends of the spectrum. That's really where we're at. We are in the space between, still pulling from the old, trying to move into the new. But again, what we do with the old greatly impacts what happens in the new. All right. Interestingly enough, the card that comes forward is Queen Una, which was a Celtic, or is a Celtic fairy queen goddess energy. So very much connecting into those, again, earthier elemental energy realms, which totally dragon energy, dragon fae there, coming back into self, the roots, the nature. Which is another way that you can enter the sacred silence, by the way, if you're not buried under 20 million feet of snow. And the card is a brilliant solution is on its way. And let me see if I can get the light off of this card so you can see. No, it doesn't. It doesn't want to do it. So it's hard to see it. Oh, there we go. Beautiful illumination at the third eye. You heard me talking about that with the kind of what you can see will be shown to you through esoteric means or supernatural means, if you will. And I don't mean scary, everybody. And then you've got the illumination at the throat chakra, which is our truth, our the way that we express our authentic self, our truth coming into our truth through our throat. The alignment of the mind and the voice. So it's like anchoring your vision, the vision of your truth and who you really are, and having that mind and communicative alignment here, or expression, if you will. So it shows us that we're meant to enter this sacred silence for this rebirth that needs to occur, for this metamorphosis, to really see who you really are, to see what really wants to be expressed through you. And again, this is like, it's all part of who you are. This is part of your soul's nature, your soul's core. It's nothing that is like what wants to be expressed through or what you're going to be shown is anything that's like, something trying to be imposed upon you. This is who you are. This is what you're meant to do. This is, or at least putting you into the path of beginning the journey of what you're meant to do here. So giving you the divine direction, clarity, and insight necessary as to how to proceed. There is this information that's waiting to come to you, a brilliant solution on its way. Again, deeply depends upon us entering into that silence. But in other terms, on another hand, we can also all expect to see something coming in within this week that will be that facilitator, that catalyst for the changes that want to unfold. All right. So I hope that makes sense to everyone. And so much, look at these colors. Whew. Connecting in that solar energy, that solar plexus energy, that sacral chakra energy there. So connecting into the womb space, even for men, you've got that sacral chakra in the pelvis area, which is all about your connecting to your emotions, your inner child. And I've been kind of seeing a lot of like inner child stuff come up lately too. So that's part of our shadow work, needing to be understood and acknowledged so it can be healed, brought into love. So really connecting into those spaces, okay? All right. Now it is time for Mudra. Meredith says that Ceres is the sister of Jupiter, the god of expansion, luck, and fortune. Need more volume. Is that in regards to the sound of my microphone? Or is anybody else having a hard time hearing? Because I know we checked the mic and it was good to go in the beginning. So, or are you saying any more volume in regards to an aspect of your life? Patterns, yes. Hey, Lisa, welcome, lovely. Thank you for being here. Everything will be available on replay. Just finished up the Moon Day message, the energy forecast, and the news and announcements. But I'm going to do the mudra now. Yeah, in legend, it was also the name of my cat that passed away a few years ago. Hey, Lisa, welcome. The other Lisa. Thank you, Dawn. Good for everybody else? I might have just misunderstood what she said. We've been having such problems with volume lately, so I'm quick to go there. Like, oh no, not again. All right. So I'm going to get the Mudra deck. So thank you, Lynette. Thanks, Karen. Out, speck of life. Not sure I understood that. I'm so sorry. Okay, really quickly, I'm going to go into the mudras and I'll go back to the comments again. So I work with a deck called Mudras for Awakening the Energy Body by Alison de Nicola, and this enables us to really kind of pull a mudra card or a mudra that wants to come forward for the collective, for us to work with. So a mudra, well, the word itself is Sanskrit, so very ancient language, believed to be one of the first languages on Earth, also believed to be a form of light language. So what that means is that it's healing and activation in the form of sound. So and sound being one of the most potent forms of healing that there is. So when you speak these words, the word in itself is bringing a vibrational adjustment into your auric field, into your energy centers. But now mudra actually translates into seal, which is, to me, I see that word seal as like a button in my mind. And it's like a seal that links in to your energy centers, one or more, okay? So you form these seals with your hands because you have chakras within your palms. And so you're using the energy of your palm chakras. Your fingers, which are connected to the elements, act as activators or trigger buttons. And so when you form the mudras, okay, so there are many different mudras. There are hundreds upon hundreds of different mudras. We see them, we do them a lot without even realizing it, all the time. So when you form these mudras, channeling your breath work as well as intention, it does enable you to channel energy into your energy centers, also known as chakras. Now, depending upon the mudra, depends upon the energy center that's being activated, okay, or connected into. As I said before, one mudra could work with many chakras, or it only works with just one. Depends upon the mudra. So when you do that, it sends in that life force energy to break through any barriers or any blockage energetically that might be within your chakras. Now, each chakra is connected to your 4 main layers. And within those 4 main layers are your physical body. So on your physical body, one chakra is connected to physical organs and the physical, different physical aspects there. And then it connects into your emotional body. So what blockage might be in your emotional state, your mental body, as well as your light or spiritual body. So then it allows you to bring that energy in and awaken those energy centers, which then sends out the energy to remove blockage in any of those layers, which then promotes a healthy flow of life force energy. Doing so alleviates illness, ailments, emotional discord, mental discord, and then does also facilitate expansion in your consciousness, coming into eventual enlightenment. So being able to work with these is a really powerful facilitator of your overall well-being and growth, evolution-wise, okay? So we work with these to really go hand in hand, no pun intended, with the oracle message for the week, to give us that. So it's one thing to hear me say these things and to talk to you about what it is that's coming in or what we can do. But this also is like having a little secret tool or weapon that you can use to also activate and facilitate the growth and healing that wants to occur. Very powerful. They're very easy to work with. They've been being used for thousands and thousands of years. And when you work with them, sometimes if you already suffer from a certain ailment on your physical body, if the mudra that comes forward is connected to a chakra that rules over that physical area, you might want to err on the side of caution. And I'll let you know if there's a caution with that mudra, because it could overstimulate that area, creating agitation or irritation. So it'll be up to you and your own discretion if you want to use it. Okay. All right. So yes, Lori, you catch yourself talking and you're doing this, or we're doing this. This is a mudra as well, and sometimes I catch myself talking a lot. This is an actual mudra about flow and about, having people, kind of like drawing the energy into your presence so that people are kind of focusing, concentrating on what you're saying. So we do these because we have used these in many different lifetimes before. So it's part of our cellular memory, I would say. Okay. Hey, Anne. Hey, Kathleen. Welcome. Oh, thanks for being here anyway. I know you popped in a little late, but I appreciate you watching the replay and for trying. Okay. All right. So, I swear, Angie, you smell the mudras. You always make it right in time for mudra. It's funny. Angie is our mudra queen over there at Crystal Essence Healing. Check out her page, give it a like, and tune into her comments, because she does share a bit more insight regarding the mudras for me all the time, because she is just so awesome like that, and one of my divine soul sisters. So I love and thank you and appreciate you for doing that all the time. Okay, so let us see what mudra comes forward for the collective good for the week of February 15th, 2021. We got 2. Ooh. All right then. Big ones. What's that saying? Go big or stay home? Guess that's what the universe is saying this week. So, first of all, loving the colors together. Totally look like Halloween. My favorite time of year. So the first one that came out is the Magickal Mudra. And it is the Mudra of Reassurance. Orange in color here. That kind of lets us know that this is connecting into our sacral chakra, although that could be the main one. It could connect with other chakras. But it assists with inner well-being, inner nourishment, and safety. And it relieves tension and assists pelvic and prostate issues, enhances circulation in the reproductive and urinary systems, calming and stabilizing. There is no caution with this one, so we can do this one without concern. So we'll do that in a second together. So you can just see how incredibly powerful they are. Not only are they working with us on an energetic, spiritual level, but working with us on our physical body. Just amazing. The next one that came forward is the Pyrava Mudra. Did I say that right? Pyrava. I can pretend like I know what I'm talking about. Pyrava Mudra. And it's liberation. Being purple, connecting, it's giving us that awareness that right now, or right off the bat, it connects with our crown chakra. So very, very interesting. Crown and sacral. So giving us the reassurance to feel safe as we are liberated from certain cycles, situations this week. Okay? Quite interesting. It assists with unity, which has been a huge, huge energy this past week so far. And I know it's only Monday, but I'm talking about like the last couple of days is really what I mean. Really bringing in, especially some of you may have seen, I posted a light code that came to me. And it was all about, it was called the Unified Heart is what I heard. But it was about bringing in unity within ourselves, anchoring that unification through our sacred heart centers, and helping us to be liberated from karmic cycles and that separation wounds, to be exact. So very interesting. So unity, freedom, liberation. It assists all the systems of the body, which means that it's going to work with all chakras, although its main focus is crown. Supports inner stillness, which is needed in order to come into sacred silence, and courage, and releases fears. Look at that. That's amazing. So we're going to do both of these. So I'm going to work with you first with the first mudra, and then I will go over, although the second one is really easy. But I still will kind of like stop in between and show you. So Angie says the shank, this one, mudra, is the conch. And she lets us both throat and sacral. Oh, I didn't know that. Interesting. So I can totally see. Where'd our card go? You missed the cards, Ange. We got the same card as last week. Sacred Silence, the listener. And this is Queen Una. A brilliant solution is on its way. And look at that throat chakra and third eye being illuminated there. Interesting. No coincidence. All right, so this one, you're going to grasp your left thumb with your right hand. Okay? I know it's backwards for all of you, but left thumb, right hand. Then you're going to touch the tip of the right thumb to the tips of the left index, middle, and ring fingers. Okay, let me see. So, left thumb. Then you're going to take the right thumb, right? Just kind of twirl your hands around and touch the, it said, yeah, not the pinky. So, the first three, right? Then you are going to relax the shoulders and belly. I guess you're going to, it doesn't actually tell you to, but I think you would obviously stick this in front of your, as low as you can go with your lower abdomen, your sacral area, womb space, pelvis area, as low as you can, because I know like mine only goes down to a little bit belly button there, right? So close your eyes. Have everybody take a nice deep breath in. Okay, I just heard stop, someone else needs it again. All right, so if anybody else needs it again, I'm going to do it one more time. It might have been a little tricky. All right, so left hand, thumb, take your right hand, wrap it around. Take your right thumb, and then you're going to kind of curl your hand. Okay? Can't really turn them around, but then lower them. Try to put them right in front of your womb pelvis area. Okay, drop your shoulders, straighten your spine, close your eyes. Lisa, I'm sure you weren't alone, love. Take a nice deep breath in. And release, blowing the breath out of your mouth. Again, nice deep breath in. And release. Last one. Breathe in. And release. And you can state, self-reassurance guides me to perfect well-being. Self-reassurance guides me to perfect well-being. Self-reassurance guides me to perfect well-being. And so it is. And you can open your eyes. And so I'm just doing 3 breaths just because there's 2 mudras here. But you could work with these in increments of 3. So 3 breaths, 6 breaths, 9 breaths. Or every day work up and build up more. It's up to you. So the second mudra, and Angie just shared, Angie Walters, the mantra to go along with the Shank Mudra. For anybody who likes to chant alongside of working with the mudra, okay? So maybe if you can kind of copy that and then paste it onto, a document or something this way that you can work with it or write it all down. I know it's a little bit, but okay. Thanks, Angie. All right, the Liberation Mudra, the Pyrava. Am I saying it right? And so this one, pretty easy. You're just going to rest the left hand on your lap facing up. Place it on your lap. The right hand, you're just going to lay it right over the left palm facing up. Okay, left hand down on lap, right hand right over top of it. And then you're just going to relax again. Relax your shoulders, straighten your spine, close your eyes, and a deep breath in. Release the breath. Two more times, deep breath in. And release. Last one, breathe in. And release. And you can state, I honor the innate union of consciousness and bliss. I honor the innate union of consciousness and bliss. I honor the innate union of consciousness and bliss. And so it is. And you can open your eyes. All right, and that is it. So you can work with both of them together, as clearly both of them want to be worked together. It's interesting, Angie and I, we discussed something a long time ago, is that I think Angie said that she refers to them as like they're moving mudras. So it's really important, at least the way that I saw it, I can't remember how this conversation came up, but I think I was shown a mudra one time, but the mudra wasn't one movement. It was like, or something, and it was like, just like did 2 things at once when it was being shown to me. And I had to kind of try to recreate it and show it to her. And she was like, yeah, it's like a moving mudra. So think of it like a language, and that you're saying 2 different words or a sentence as you do these. So if you can try to bring that flow into working with them, so going from the first mudra, the reassurance mudra, into then the liberation mudra without stop, just do the first 3 breaths, then flow into the second 3 breaths, or do 1, go into the next, however you feel comfortable doing. But if you can think of them as a movement, I think that really does flow much better that way. I absolutely love that. So love working with this. So I do recommend working with them both together and trying not to do them, one this day and one that day, unless you really feel called to. All right. I will post a picture of these on my page, and you can save them to your phones or computers and work with them all week long. As the more you do, the more empowered and the healing, the more in-depth healing that can occur with them. All right, everyone. Thank you so very much for being here with me this evening. I love and appreciate all of you so very much. And I hope that you all have a wonderfully magical week full of love and blessings and the best sort of liberation possible. I hope to see you again next Monday. Take care.